Greetings, all my fellow monsters and ghouls out there. This is the Terrors of Halloween. Okay, so basically gonna make a part 2 video of my haunt tips. Because somehow when I was talking about coming up with phrases of what to say for your haunt character, and somehow the video just went, it just stopped recording. I don't know what was going on with that, so that was a little issue. So I do apologize about that, guys. But I'm definitely gonna make this video a part 2, so that way, you know, I can talk more about haunt tips. So, but I wasn't finished talking about coming up with your own phrases and lines to say for your haunt character. So that's the part where I want to finish talking about. So, but what before we get started, I did upload the first one. The first one just got uploaded earlier. If you guys want to watch the first one, definitely go check it out. Before you watch the second one, so that way you can watch it in order. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, so definitely make sure that for your haunt characters, that, you know, whatever name and backstory you come up with, but you know, like I said, it can be anything, you know, well, basically talking characters, like basically werewolves don't really talk, and zombies don't really talk at all because they just make noises. And vampires, yeah, they basically talk. So, like, you know, you can, like, say if you're going to do a vampire character for, like, you know, for, like, I'm trying to think of a theme. Like a castle. Like, you know, like vampires live in castles. So, like, you know, you can definitely do something like that. And come up with your own lines to say, like, so, like, well, basically, you know, it don't have to be my take of it. It can be your own. So this is kind of like a little example I'm throwing out right here. So, like if your vampire character were to say something like, "Oh yes, I can smell your blood. Your blood, the innocence of a human. I can smell you. I can sense your fears." You know, and yeah, and that's something you could do, like coming up with your own lines for a vampire character, and any type of character, like a serial killer, a creepy clown, like one of the crazies from the mental asylum, like, you know, like, oh, I mean, hell, I can do all sorts of like voices for these characters, like, you know, like, say if you're doing an insane asylum theme haunt, and like you can say like, "Oh, medicine, I need medicine." "No, I don't need medicine. Get out of my head. Get out of my head. Get out of my head. I hear voices in my head." I hear voices in my head. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that. So yeah, so that's something you could do, you know, for your character, like, you know, like this, you're like, you know, your character is like mentally insane. It's like, you know, of course, you know, he's like in a straitjacket and he's just like talking to himself, like, "Get out of my head, get out of my head. Oh, I don't need pills. No pills for me. I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna murder you. I'm gonna kill the guards," and like, you know, like, yeah, you know, so yeah, you know, so something like that, you know. But yeah, like what I was saying in the first video, definitely be creative of your characters. I mean, some people don't really do that very well in haunts. I kind of like watch videos about it, and then I kind of like watch some of the actors do what they do. Like, some of them just don't really like talk. So like maybe like definitely come up with a phrase to say. But well, basically, besides for werewolves and zombies, they don't talk. But definitely find. But I mean, it don't matter. So like, you can definitely do those type of characters, and either like, it's, if you want to do a talking character, and yeah, well, that's the most important thing in a haunted house attraction, is to come up with lines and like kind of think of what to say once guests enter your scene. Like, pop out and scare them, like, "Yo, I'm gonna eat ya." You know, like, say, like, you know, say if you're like doing a butcher scene, like kind of like Bloodshed at Worlds of Fun's Haunt, like, "Ooh, Bubba's cooking up something good for you. Woo! Here comes old Bubba." you're gonna be cooked for dinner tonight. You know, but yeah, well, something like that for a character. But yeah, like what I said, this is an example. It don't have to be my take. This is gonna be your own. So I'm just kind of like teaching you guys of how, what lines you can say for your characters and stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah, just I think we need to have more of that, more talking characters. Like all there is like la, and that's it. Like okay, well you got to be creative with your scares. It's got to be better. Like if you wanna get good scares in your haunt, you you gotta release your character and like come up and like scare them and like and say a phrase to like scare them, like I'm gonna play jump rope with your guts, like make them feel uncomfortable, like make them feel scared, and that's because that's what you want to do in a haunted house attraction. You got to make them feel scared. Well, of course there's some people out there that they're kind of jerks, so I mean I've encountered lots of that for my haunt years at Worlds of Fun's haunt. From working at Cornstalkers, I've encountered a lot of rude people. But yeah, of course, if you came across that, just if they take it too far, of course, just break character and just escort them out. Of course, we don't need foolishness and in a haunted house attraction. You're there to have fun. That's the whole point. If the guests can't really have fun, they're gonna be jerks to our actors that we do our job, then yeah, then they need to go, because that's just not right. We no, people need to stop treating our haunt actors really badly, because a lot of people do that in the haunted house community. Like they walk by like a certain scene in a haunted house attraction, and then they act like fools, and now they completely whack one of the actors. Like, well, of course, don't ever do that. That's just a rule. Like, just don't touch us. Like, we're here to have fun, and we're here to entertain you. If you don't like that, you can go. That's the thing. If they don't like it, then of course they can leave and stuff like that. And of course, escort them out and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that of course that's another thing you can do. Come up with lines to say for your characters, like creep them out. And well, of course, I'm sure you guys know how to deal with rude guests and stuff like that. Like, if you encounter a person that's like threatening, that too. If he wants to like say, "Oh, I'm not scared," or anything, well, maybe we'll just try to entertain him. If he's not scared enough, then just move on to the next guest once they come by your scene, and scare that one too. Well, yeah. Well, basically, in my opinion, I love scaring the ones that get scared really easily. Those are fun to entertain. Like, basically me, I'm actually an entertainer. Once I come out as Charles the Scarecrow Harvester, and I pop out and scare the guests, and I say my little phrase like, "Your souls are mine." Kind of like that. Oh, it's kind of hurt my throat when doing that. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, so sometimes my throat, like when I do the voice, sometimes it hurts a little bit. But when I don't do it as much, it don't hurt. So maybe I've been doing the voice too much. So yeah, but yeah, of course, that's a little example, like how you saw me do the Charles voice. You can definitely do that for your character. So that's another important thing. Like one, definitely, if you're doing a home haunt or a professional haunt, make sure your character has an immersive storyline, like what I mentioned in the first one. And like for your home haunt, and yeah, definitely tell a story. Like what I mentioned before, because that's what haunted houses need. They need storylines. Like, like what I said before, like for my haunt is a storytelling haunted house. This haunted house tells a story of who Dr. Neville Stone is and what all of his monsters and creatures do in his graveyard. They kind of linger around the darkness, waiting for fresh victims to come by, and then their souls go in the grave, and that's the whole story. So that's another thing. So that's the most important thing. Just like definitely be creative. That's the whole point. If you want to be a haunt actor and well, say, I mean, like for a start, for a home haunt, like just like a haunted house you do in your yard, that could be something. Then you could build up that you could build up that momentum and go to the professional side. And then, well, maybe, or you could do both, do a home haunt and then work at a professional haunt, at a theme park haunt, or just a haunted house building attraction and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, that's something that you could definitely work up to. But yeah, well, of course, I do both things. Of course, I work at Haunted Worlds of Fun at the Cornstalkers, and then I run my own haunted house. Of course, it's small, and then I just have retail props. And so that's something I'm basically looking for in the near future, is getting like professional props, like from Poison Props, like Distortions Unlimited, and ones from Ghost Ride Productions. Their props are amazing. They're realistic. Those are the type of stuff you don't see at Spirit Halloween. Like, no, you don't see that type of stuff there. I mean, of course, yeah. I mean, I like Spirit Halloween. They sell the best props and animatronics and costumes and masks and all that stuff there. But yeah, if you go to Trans World, of course, that's coming up this year, like what I said. And yeah, if you go over there, just look at all their cool stuff. They're awesome. I mean, of course, I've been there in 2022. I still have those videos. If you guys want to go check those out, the videos I did back in 2022 when I first went to Trans World for my very first year. So I'm also made a playlist too. It's on there. If you look it up, then you'll see the whole playlist of my Trans World videos if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, just those props are amazing. I love Poison Props. And oh yeah, and Scare Factory, they make those big ginormous props. That's something you guys can work up to. But yeah, like what I mentioned in the first video, like definitely start something from small. Like definitely, like before you work up your momentum to get professional stuff for your haunted house. And definitely got to start somewhere small, and that's what I'm doing. So, and then when I work my way up, I definitely want to get the professional stuff, like the professional animatronics and ones from Poison Props and Ghost Ride and some of the stuff that will match my graveyard theme. And plus, I'm planning on doing it in a big building. If I could find one, that'd be kind of cool. Now it won't be a home haunt anymore. This will be a professional haunt that I will be officially opening. Well, that's not going to happen in the near future. Like I said, this is still technically going to be a home haunt, but I'm working my way up to make my haunted house more bigger, more better, and more scarier. And that's what you guys need to do. If you guys want to start your own haunt, definitely start somewhere small, and then of course, like build a pathway. That's the most important thing too. I forgot to mention, like definitely build a pathway, because if there's no pathways, then people are not going to know where to go. Then you have to guide them, well, just a little bit and stuff like that. If they don't know where to go, just kind of like point and basically stay in character. That's and never break character. That's another thing too. In my haunt tips thing, just never ever break character. Always stay in character. Once guests come through your scene, then just be in character. Don't break it. Don't ruin the experience. So just letting you guys know out there, if you guys are new in the haunted industry, definitely send a comment. I would like to know, if you are a part of the haunted house industry, definitely let me know. If you run a home haunt or you work at a professional haunt, definitely send a comment. I would like to know. And if you guys need tips, comment down below. I will gladly love to give you guys more tips on that as well. So, but yeah, so definitely build a pathway for your haunted house, because if you don't, then guests are not gonna have no idea where they're gonna go. And well, yeah, basically, me, I do that. I basically build a pathway, so that way guests, when they come through Dr. Neville Stone's graveyard house of terror, they'll walk right where the path that will lead to the next scene. And of course, same with you guys. Make sure you guys do that though, because if you don't, then like I said, then people are not going to have no idea where to go, and then that's something that you know like that you can work on making a pathway for your haunt. But um but yeah, so that's that's definitely excuse me. So that's definitely another thing that you guys can do. And yes, and never break character. That's another thing. Like what I mentioned before. Well, yeah, of course, me, I always stay in character. Once I'm working at Worlds of Fun's haunt, when I have that mask on, I'm Charles. I'm like Tyler is like not there no more. I'm that character, and that's something that if you guys are new to the haunted house industry or you work at a haunt, you guys need tips on that. Like like what I said, send a comment down below. I will like to know. And like always just build up your character. Now once you get good at it, and then then people will know who you are. So yeah, so that's another thing. Like, if people want to get to know your character, tell your story. Well, not like the full story, tell like the half story of what goes on in this place. So like, okay, let's go on for Cornstalkers, my professional haunt that I work at. Like, no, Cornstalkers is about an evil entity known as the Darkness. So once the darkness goes inside of you, you're consumed by evil. Now you become part of the evil scarecrows, and so that's kind of the whole storyline of how Cornstalkers goes. Oh, what was that? Okay, sorry about that, guys. There's squirrels up in the ceiling. Oh, okay, yeah. So sorry. Okay, but anyway, sorry. That was a weird noise I heard. But yeah, so that's kind of what Cornstalkers is about. So it's about an evil entity known as the Darkness, and basically it will possess a living soul. You become consumed by evil, and yeah, it basically how Charles is. Charles is consumed by evil. He was killed by his friend named Josh Lobin. That basically he was a vessel. He was his next target to get. So, and now he slashed his throat open and read upon the book to summon the darkness into Charles, and now he's basically not human anymore. He's become something evil, something supernatural, and now he goes around the cornfields waiting for fresh souls to feed to gain his powers. So that's the whole story of Charles. So yeah, so like I was saying, like definitely definitely tell people who you are. Like, of course, don't give away your real name, because you don't like what I said, don't ruin the experience. That's something you don't want to do. Like, say like, hey, my name's Charlie. I'm a grave digger. I dig up dead bodies and stuff like that. And like, you kind of like tell them who you are, and people will get to know your character if you post your character on social media. Like, I do that. I post a lot of pictures of Charles the Scarecrow Harvester on Facebook. Of course, I'm in a group of Worlds of Fun's Halloween Haunt. So basically, a lot of people know who my character is. They know who Charles is. So that's something that you guys can build up to. If you guys want to, if people want to get to know your character, you gotta tell them who you are. Not, like I said, not your real name, your character name, and if you post them on social media, and people will get to know who your character is. Like, you become famous. Like, oh, I know this guy. Yeah, he's he's the grave digger. Oh my gosh, he's the toxic waste zombie. Oh my gosh, he's the that's the Death the Reaper, and and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's pretty much that, and definitely tell who your character is, and people will get to know who your character is once you tell that story, and then boom, people will just go like completely nuts. Like, oh my gosh, I know who you are. Like, yeah, well, yeah, it's like making friends. Well, basically, no, the humans are your enemies. Like for Charles, once a human comes by my scene, they're my enemies. I'm gonna feast on their souls to gain Charles's powers, and that's course, well, yeah, of course, you know the whole story. But yeah, and like what I said, that, if people want to get to know your character, like what I said, tell them who you are, and tell your story of what you do, and what's your intentions to do to these people that you're gonna do to them. Like, oh, you know what? I need more bodies to bury in my graveyard, and like, yeah, and stuff like that. Well, yeah, of course, this is like an example. Like, it don't have to be like a gravedigger character. Well, of course, I bet there's a lot of people out in the haunted house industry that does a gravedigger character at a home haunt or professional haunted house and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's basically all I have. So yeah, if you have any questions, definitely send a comment down below. I would like to comment on your answers. If you guys need any tips, I will luckily give you guys more tips in the comments. So if you guys are a part of a haunt, you guys want to become a haunt actor, send a comment down below. I'm your guy. I'm pretty good at helping haunters come up with tips of come up with a character, creating a storyline, even for a home haunt, and creating a backstory for your haunted house, either theme, however you want it to be, because it's your haunt. However you want it to go, just make sure it has a story. Because once again, if there's no storyline, then I guess, well, then people are not gonna know what's going on. They want to be excited, they want to be scared of what's going to happen. What are they going to encounter in your haunted house? So, well, okay, you know what? I'll say this. This is kind of another idea. If you just want to do a haunted house that's based on horror slashers, you could do that. Like Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, and like Evil Dead, Ash, you could add him in there, or the Lost Boys, or From Dusk Till Dawn, or Psycho, Terrifier, or something like that. You could do a scene when you walk, you're walking in a movie theater, and now once you go through the screen, now it's you're in that horror movie. So you're a Nightmare on Elm Street, and John Carpenter's Halloween, or Night of the Living Dead, or what other ones? Oh yeah, Friday the 13th, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You could do something like that. So that's another idea. If you want your home haunt to be based on horror slashers, that's another idea. You're basically walking through a whole movie, and now you're encountering all the horror slasher characters, like Art the Clown. You have an actor dressed up as Art, the ones well, yeah, of course there's one from Spirit Halloween, and then you got the one from Trick or Treat Studios. I saw that one at Spirit actually this last season. You can kind of creep up on people, do something like that. Yeah, I hope you like my art impression. But yeah, so I think this is going to include this video. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will gladly give you guys some haunt tips. So I hope you enjoyed this part 2 video. This is my last video. I'm so happy I got to make this video. Wow, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to help out the haunted house industry, come up with tips. Like what I was saying, make sure your haunted house has an immersive story. And for your characters, make sure they have a story as well. Because if there's no storyline, then people are not going to know who you are. Definitely let them get to know who your character is. But yes, definitely send a comment down below if you guys are new in the haunted house industry. You guys need tips. I will gladly give you guys some more tips in the comment section below. All right, guys, I'm signing off. This is the Terrors of Halloween, and I shall see you haunters in the next spooky video. Bye-bye.